always wanted to be a lawyer. That is just untrue.
And the lady and the youngings, and he's like motioning to us. So I'm like, am I the lady? Ladies, let's go.
Do I look like a ghost? Ooh, I'm going to court today. So one of our assignments, we have to go to a court and watch a trial happen. So I'm going today and I'm taking you with me.
But the nice thing about law, it's like being a police officer, there's always work.
Yeah.
Or like okay, not a doctor, because they're struggling to get jobs. Maybe a nurse. Some of the doctors, they can't get jobs after ComServe.
But you can also get opportunities to open a center.
But that needs money, you know? I'm here before my friend. I'm so proud of myself. I always make her wait, so today I didn't. And I'm really, really, really happy. One of my goals this year is to get really better with time and to never be late. So I am currently waiting for her to come through, and I'm super happy that I'm here early. This is the setup. I am by the Wits Origin Center and we're just waiting. I think we're gonna go to the Johannesburg Central Magistrates Court because I think we have a better chance of getting a trial. What do we want? Public prosecutors, no courts, 8 to 3. Essentially, we need to find a trial that's happening from the beginning. So I'm thinking we must find an advocate and just ask them if they have any matters today that we can observe. I'm not going to show you my vlog, by the way, just so that you don't tense out. What time is it now? 14:35. It's 14:35. We just wrapped up the court roll. Our matter was postponed, so we will come back, I guess. But it's a pretty straightforward case. Morning, guys. I'm not in the best of moods. I woke up late. Morning. I still have to go to court today again. We weren't successful the first try. I'm gonna take the bus because I'm kind of then from school. Today I made Sophie wait and I feel so bad. We are on our way to the High Court. We were at the Magistrates Court and there was nothing. So we're thinking at the High Court, there's a higher chance of us getting a trial from beginning to end. So that's where we're going. I'm hoping for a civil matter. I don't want to hear a criminal matter. Criminal matters are often unlikely to finish in one day. So we're just gonna go to the different courts, see what's on the court roll and go on from there. We might start by the clerk. Or is it registrar? At the High Court, is it registrar or clerk? Registrar. The registrar of the High Court. Today, we're at the High Court. To call this Saturday's Nerdy Moments. I will get a mic, guys, soon. I'm gonna get a mic, I promise. So, We are at the High Court, the local division. It's now called the Gauteng Local Division. So in civil procedure, we're taught that at the High Court has no jurisdiction, unlike the magistrates and district courts. So the magistrate and district courts, they have this thing called monetary jurisdiction, where they can't hear matters above a certain number. So in the High Court, they can hear anything, but like if you can hear it in the magistrate and districts, you shouldn't come here. But generally, High Court can hear everything. So now we're heading to the general office. We just need to find out what's on the court roll, any trials that are happening today, and how finishing to train. Sophie, what is a court roll? What is a court roll? So court roll is matters that are going to be heard and are approved to go to court. That's another fun fact. So we just came out of the second trial I've been to in my life, and this one was actually really interesting because at the first trial we went to, the advocate was like, trials are very magistrate dependent, and I saw that today. So in the first trial we went to, it was unlawful possession of a firearm, unregistered firearm, and the magistrate was really strict with procedure. Like procedurally you had to like follow those things. But with this magistrate, he was very like chilled. It was like almost what you think a court case or criminal case would be. So yeah, we got 2 criminal cases. I just think civil is very hard to get. So we have to come back. So as we were sitting there, so I'm with Sophie and Tabiso, and the magistrate is like, so, and the lady and the youngings, and he's like motioning to us. So I'm like, am I the lady? Because he said the lady and the youngings. Ngathi, oh, okay. Mina ngi motho omdala. Ke motho moholo. Guys. Ngathi, okay. Khale re phela, I guess. Wale batha ba what's this? Of drunk driving. They only kept the one. So I'm just getting a hazelnut cappuccino, and we'll probably sit and then go home. Hot ways. And yeah, I think this is the end of my vlogging. We'll have a chit chat when I get back to my room, but yeah.
PSYCHH HHHH.
In our team, what she was saying, she was like, you.
So now he went to cousin. Yes, I did. Well,
Because if he did, hey, there will be implications in the workplace.
Zanzi kwale umyalezo wakho uxolisayo kuwo. Ubungantoni ke lo myalezo lo ucinyiwe.
And the whole camera thing, I saw that it's not difficult to explain. There used to be a billboard here. Good morning, guys. Today I'll do a reflection video. Just reflecting on like, would I be an advocate? Would I be an attorney? What do I prefer? Court etiquette is very interesting. Just seeing how attorneys and advocates interact with magistrates. They refer to them, the bowing when they leave the court, and also just how the vibe of the courtroom is dependent on the magistrate themselves. It's also very interesting. So I'm currently with my sister and my niece. We're looking for Vida. We're at Vida. We were at the center that had Vida. My sister was like, no, it's here. It is in fact not here. So we're gonna go back to where we were and get Vida. My sister was like, you take your Ted Baker bag everywhere, even when you're wearing joggers. I'm like, it's the only bag I have. Apart from my backpack. And I'm not feeling like taking my backpack. So, Ted Baker. Guys, I'm going to spend 50 bucks on a coffee, but still. Today we are finally doing the reading for everything. What should we have? It didn't meet my deadline. Ngithanda abafana nina. I obviously packed up really fast and she's only coming down now. Ladies, let's go to Thank you.
So it's got what are you looking for? Automatic or
So you don't even have to fix the seat. Yeah, I can even reach that.
Guys, no, but it's fine. You know what? We'll come back.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. I know how to say, girl. I am a cool auntie. I'm a cool auntie. So I often get the question, why law? And I think that's a really great question. Like, why are you studying what you're studying? And I wish, guys, I could give you guys the really sweet answer that I've always wanted to be a lawyer. I've always been passionate about the law. And that is just untrue. Growing up, I never wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to either be a doctor, a medical doctor, or a diplomat. And so the doctor thing was from primary school, and then diplomat was from high school. So so in high school, I was introduced into debating and public speaking. So I became aware of global issues and the impact of states and the decisions they make and globalization and etc. And so it made me really passionate about international relations, global politics. I watched a lot of Al Jazeera, I'll say that. And
I was very like tapped in. So I did this style of debating called Saki debating, where they give you a topic that's like, this house believes, or just, I forgot that one, but believes was the one where you didn't really need to prove it with stats. Say this house something, and then you get a topic, and then you break out into your teams, and then you prepare. And I read newspapers like crazy because you needed to keep up with like global politics, whatever. And so I had an idea that, okay, I want to do something politically aligned. But as I went through varsity, I enjoyed first year politics and international relations. I enjoyed second year politics and international relations. I did not enjoy third year. And I was faced with this decision that like, okay, I'm not really passionate enough to continue this, because one thing about doing a BA or a humanities degree, you need to be willing to do your honors, your masters, and PhD if you want to. But masters is usually the kind of threshold. And I was just like, I'm not passionate enough to like read about this and write about this. I was really passionate about and really interested in political philosophy, but that was a second year module, so I forgot about it as time went on. And at that time I had already added law to my modules, and I was getting really interested in, I say this, I was really interested in the law in the sense that it wasn't what I thought it was. I thought the law was very robotic, and while I was doing my BA, I saw the intersection, and I was really interested in why there's a gap, especially between policy and the law. They seem to be intertwined, and I think that's the assumption, but in practicality or in implementation, like, they seem to be far from each other. Like, why, when policymakers are making policy, there's certain consideration that a person in the legal space would have contributed, that would have added a lot of nuance to that policy, etc. So I was like, okay, let me just do my LLB, and I got more passionate about the law. And I think wanting to be a diplomat, wanting to be a lawyer, wanting to be a doctor, all come from the same values of wanting equity, realizing as a child that I wake up really early. I woke up at 4 a.m. to go to school, and I didn't understand why I wake up at 4 a.m. but my friends tell me they wake up at 7 a.m. and they get ready in like 30 minutes and they walk to school, but it takes me forever to come to school. When I was younger, it was a transport. When I was older, I had to use public transport, either taxis or bus. So I used to take a taxi from home to town, and then the bus from town to school, and then if I missed the bus, I'd have to take the taxi to school. And that real life impact made me really passionate about seeking equality. And then in grade 8, I started reading a lot of Maya Angelou, Sylvia Plath, Jane Austen, Virginia Woolf, as I think like grade 9, 10, and I was really exposed to this idea of like inequality amongst, the sexes, like what is feminism. And that's when I got like into global politics, and I was also doing debating and public speaking. And so I think the undercurrent of all my career choices of what I wanted to be were all altruistic. I always had this idea of wanting equality, wanting equity, wanting redistribution, wanting correcting wrongs of the past. So that's why law. And essentially I grew into loving law, so I ended up really enjoying the law and third year I think for me solidified it. I wasn't as sure in second year, but third year I interacted with contract law, with property law, with the law of evidence, with civil procedure, and I was like, yeah, this is the meat. I like this. I really love contract law. I really love property. And as much as I can say I love those subjects, I think a lot of the time, and I will, especially for contract, I will definitely always appreciate Prof. Norkia, because she was so clear in telling us how to argue for something. She would say things like, it's not good enough for you. And I always tell this, because I'm a contract tutor, I always tell the people in my tat, it's not good enough to say that this is the correct answer. You have to show why the alternative is incorrect, right? And it took me back to the days when I did debating, and when you were op or prop, you still had to give both sides of the argument. You still had to rebut what they were saying and give your version. And for me, that kind of was like the moment I realized, like, oh, I actually want to do this law thing. So I, unlike other people who have always had the passion, for me it grew as I went throughout the years, and now I'm in a place where I'm really comfortable, where I can say, okay, I want to do law. So that's the first question. Then the second question is, from my experience of the courts and watching magistrates and advocates in the courts, which one do I choose? Do I want to be an attorney, or do I want to be an advocate? I think for me, I would, right now in my life, I'm leaning towards being an attorney. I think the skills that I want to develop are found in corporate law. And I think, how can I say this? I'm not someone who has this like really structured out plan. For me, it's good enough to say, okay, I want to do this, and then once I get there, if I want to continue, I can. If I want to diversify, I can. If I want to completely change, I will. And I have had the privilege of having a mentor who was in corporate law and then left, did her master's, and then she went into becoming an advocate. And so I can see that there are different pathways, right? There are people who've stayed at the same firm for 40 years. There are people who've enjoyed corporate law to the point where they've become experts in their field. Same has happened with people who have pursued other things while being in corporate.
And that's the end of Sam's chat. Thank you for listening, and if you've reached the end, please comment down below what was your favorite moment in this vlog. And as always, with love, Sammy.